I provide no positive feedback to him. And most of all, I point out his lack of height. Like right now, we're at the same height, only I'm sitting down and he's standing up.
Oh, man. It's,
are you sitting down or standing?
Do you guys tease each other?
I'm the tall one in the relationship.
She's also standing up right now. I'm actually laying down.
And Drew's on the toilet.
So where does Slyman come from? And you call each other Slyman and Johnny. Where does that come from?
Well, we've been together a really long time. So like 25 years. So things developed. But I think also, maybe it's because we're both dudes. Our relationship is just relentlessly, ruthlessly mocking each other. And there's almost no limits.
Yeah, whereas my straight friends, male and female, like yourselves, the guy tends to tread on eggshells a little bit. There's certain things you can't say. Whereas with two guys, think of how you are with your friends.
Yeah.
You say the most appalling things to each other and then fall about laughing. So two guys, we have that. Whereas my, I'm not, no tea, no shade. I'm just reporting here. Like, that's why I said, do you guys tease each other? How far do you go?
There's so much truth to that, and we can go deep into this because Drew knows that he can joke with me and tease me. However, if it comes from me, it's very different because he doesn't always expect it, and then maybe he thinks it's mean, and I'm like, that's not fair. You can't dish it and not be able to take it.
That's the thing. It's always a bait and switch. Like it is always like people, it's always like the guy who really can't handle it.
Yes, totally.
Well, we laugh about, because I'm very sarcastic, and I like to use, with anyone I'm talking to, I like to use humor as a way to sort of like break the ice a little bit or ease the conversation. And so the way I talk with my brothers or my buddies, we'll just be flat out straight to each other and tease each other, no problem. We laugh it off. But then with Linda, I'll do the same thing a little bit. But then every now and then, what she does is she mocks my voice. So she'll start doing impersonations of me. And I'm like, okay. And then she keeps doing it. I'm like, okay. And then she keeps doing it. I'm like, why are you doing that? That's really annoying. Why do you keep just mocking?
It's because he yells.
Because he can't take it.
Volume control.
I have no volume. I have no modulation. I'm a robot. And anyway, so I'm always yelling. But no, overall, I think that's one reason we do have a healthy relationship is because we know, deep down, we know we love each other. And even if something, how she communicates something might be taken slightly different from me, or anytime you communicate, the other person might receive it slightly differently. But I think we know we love each other deep down and we love to joke. And so at the end of the day, it's not that big a deal.
And when you guys met, is that something you quickly learned about each other, that you're like, okay, we can tease and it's okay? Or is that something you developed over the 25 years?
I think we're both like from a little kind of crappy towns, and we both kind of clawed our way into the metropolis. And like where I grew up, everyone teased each other.
Yeah,
it was relentless.
It was pretty much on from day one, I would say. I don't think there was ever, there was no pause of politesse. Like that wasn't a thing. Not a thing.
So this was at Barney's, right? Back in the day?
Yeah. How did you guys meet?
So it was 25 years ago, and we met on a blind date. And we kind of knew who each other were because I had been selling my pottery at Barney's, where Simon was the creative director. And he knew who I was because I was selling my pottery at Barney's. Only at the time, I was sort of like a struggling bohemian, incredibly young and very cute potter. 28. I was like a kind of bohemian potter on rollerblades, and Simon was sort of a fancy, famous fashion celebutante. And I thought, he'll be too fancy for me. Like, and I told our mutual friend, I don't think it'll work. And he said, no, I think you'll hit it off. And now here we are.
Well, I think obviously that dynamic of your relationship and the fun, like you were saying, the way you like to tease each other, I honestly think that's what can make a relationship grow stronger. You have to be able to not take yourself too seriously, be teased.
Goals.
And I mean, how can you not be teased as a young bohemian on rollerblades, thinking
Seriously.
you're the next? Yeah. next big thing.
Yeah.
But so, and then Jonathan, with your growth as a designer and starting with pottery, kind of give us that path that moved you into who you are today, because you inspire even us in the industry, designers doing what we do. You inspire us. I mean, your products are so creative and diverse as well. I mean, I'd love to hear from you what you feel your sort of niche is and how you got there.
That's, first of all, very sweet. I've had a really strange and not terribly easily replicated career. I started out as a potter, like 26. Well, I started out actually when I was a kid. I fell in love with clay at summer camp and always wanted to be a potter. But like I went to Brown for college and thought, I need to have a fancy, proper career. So when I graduated, I tried to work in the entertainment industry, and I got fired from like a series of jobs and was a complete and total loser. So I found myself at 27, unemployed and unemployable. And I started teaching night classes in Hell's Kitchen at a pottery studio called Mud, Sweat, and Tears. And I would teach night classes, and in exchange, they gave me studio space. And I sort of thought to myself, all right, I'm going to try to become a potter. The stakes are so low because it's such a strange world where there's no, there's not really an upside. You can't become rich and successful as a potter. So I'm just going to try
unless you're Harry Potter.
Well, yeah, unless you're Harry Potter. That's the only one. So I thought, I'm just going to accept that this is a low stakes enterprise and really try to follow my heart and kind of just design what I want to make it as idiosyncratic and personal as it can be, and try to be as prolific and creative as I can be. That was kind of how I always thought I would do things. And I've pretty much stayed true to that. And my whole career has been a complete accident. I never really thought I would have a proper business. I thought I would just, make pots, sell them at like a rain-soaked craft fair. That was kind of what I imagined my idea of success would be, if I could just be hawking my wares at a rain-soaked craft fair, but if they were very personal. And what's unfolded has been super unexpected, totes delightful, and endlessly creative and stimulating and fulfilling.